Okay, I've converted. You have to guess how.
To religion? I know. You've become Jewish and you've had the circumcision. You've had the later in life. Charlie Pickering converted to when he married a Jewish woman, and they didn't circumcise him, but they drew blood. It was in the Good Weekend magazine. That's where I read about it. So...
Something to read on the train.
Or the toilet. Oh, wow. I know Charlie. Oh, next time I see him, I have to ask him how the operation went.
I am circumcised already.
Yeah, well, same here. So if we convert to Judaism, we're halfway there, I think.
So we'll get in the door, no problem, and then we'll have to do all the other stuff, but we're fine.
You're not becoming Jewish. What are you converted to?
It's something that you and I had a competition about, and I more or less said I would never end up doing what. It's something that you do that I don't do.
Wow. Oh, that. Can we talk about that? No.
I did it once. No.
Once,
maybe you won't pick it. You want me to show you?
Yeah, because I mean, you've sort of converted me to ocean swimming. I do that.
Yes.
Veganism? No, not veganism.
Not washing your hair too much? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't wash my hair too much.
Moisturising? I've got a few people
Don't do that. All right, well, show us.
Yeah, I'm holding up my foot. I'm taking it off my foot.
You got a Birkenstock.
Because some time ago, we had a competition, and I maintained that I think that a Birkenstock in a sock was much worse looking than a thong in a sock.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I occasionally wear Birkenstocks and socks, and I like it.
And I said that is a bad look, and then I was completely outvoted. I have come across, I was away, I was told by Selena that thongs are a bad look, which I didn't know. I thought thongs were okay. I didn't realise that they're a bad look. Apparently they are.
Well, with socks on, socks and thongs.
Well, let's just keep the socks out of it. Let's just go for the straight. If you saw someone coming down the street and they're wearing Birkenstocks, or they're wearing, even if those groovy Havana ones, I think they're called Havana. And I more or less said, who would win, who's the coolest, and the Birkenstock won. So I went, I've got to cross over. I've got to come back. I've got to come from the dark side. Now, there are two types. There are Birkenstocks that you can get that are Birkenstock, which are what the purists wear. Then there's the Birkenstock that the girls wear, which is a plastic version of.
Yeah.
And then there's what I have, which is the copy of the plastic version. So I'm 2 steps down the line. Mine are copy Birkenstock bought in the street in Noosa.
Like an Aldi kind of knockoff.
Yes, an Aldi Birkenstock. And I've got to say, I love them.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
You know why? Here's the reason. What I don't like about thongs is that you have to clasp your toe to stop from the flap noise, because I'm not big on the flap. If I can wear thongs and not flap, I quite like that. If I hear someone coming with thongs on and they're a loud flapper, I don't know. I just find that offensive. I just don't. Get them off. Now with a Birkenstock, there's no flapping. It just stays.
No flapping.
Stays on your foot. Sticks on your foot. And mine are a light rubbery plastic. You're purist. You've got cork, haven't you?
Yeah, but I've used those plastic ones down the beach, and they're fantastic for the beach.
Yeah,
because you go down with the wooden ones and you get water on them, they sort of start to ruin. So
okay, so
I want some plastic ones.
These were, I don't know, these were $50 or something. I think the original Birkenstocks are quite expensive. Anyway, so I'm converted, and now I walk around, I look down, and I feel like I'm a masseuse, or I work in a health food shop, or I'm in a nativity scene, perhaps. Okay, here's the question: can I wear the Birkenstock even though they're plastic with a long pant, or is it only with a short pant?
If you're doing something casual like beach kind of stuff, or going out to a restaurant or something, but you got to. Yeah, I would say they're more a shorts thing.
Yeah, they probably are more a shorts
thing. Yeah.
But if you are going to wear a summery shoe with a long pant, it's a much better look to have a Birkenstock on than a thong with a long pant. Correct?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You know what they are, though? They're a gateway drug to Crocs.
No.
I reckon next week we'll tune in, and if people tune in, you'll be telling us how good Crocs are. Yeah, I got some Crocs. I know why everyone's against them.
Well, the grandchild wears the Crocs, and I got to say, he looks fantastic in the Crocs. He looks really good.
He's 4 years old or what?
Yeah, I know. Do you think that if I went Croc, I wouldn't go back.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never worn them, but they're not. I mean, they're not a good look. I don't reckon on an adult.
I don't think they're a good look. They don't breathe as well as a Birkenstock, plastic Birkenstock.
Yeah.
They're not a good look. But on some people, on the odd version of some people, I look and I go, "You're a Croc guy. You look good in a Croc."
Who looks good on a Croc?
Oh, I saw someone the other day. They had a Croc slipper. It didn't look too bad. Yeah, so it had the Croc with the fur lining. We were down the beach and it was cold, and they had them on. I'm going, pretty nice to put on after a cold swim.
Oh, yeah, true. Look, fair enough if you're a pensioner or a 4-year-old, but yeah, anything in between, I'm saying Croc-free zone. Croc-free zone.
Anyway, I'm thinking that we have a somehow related Birkenstock get-together. We'll all turn up in our Birkenstocks and we'll do some line dancing. I do find them a little bit of a trip hazard. A little bit of that toe can catch.
Yes.
But luckily it folds under and I'm okay.
Yes. Yeah. You got to be careful that if you're wearing loose pants, it can catch on the bottom of your pants too.
Oh,
One
really?
leg catches on the other. That's happened to me, yeah. Oof.
This should be in a brochure inside the box that comes with them. All these things that tips for the Birkenstock Brigade.
The Birkenstock.
The Birkenstock Brigade. Anyway, I'll tell you what. If you're a regular listener, gee, you learn some interesting things on this show. You really do.
And also, so the next step is you wearing them with socks down the street. That's the next step.
Now, this would be the big one if it was a bit chilly and it's the middle of summer, because I think there's a time when I don't go back to long pants. When we live in Victoria, the warm weather has come early this year. So I'm about to put the long pants away. It'll be short pants, short sleeves every day. But there may be a day where it's a bit chilly. Would I look stupid with short pants, socks, and Birkenstocks? I think I would.
Yes. Yeah. Or like a German tourist, I reckon. Like, oh, yeah, look at that. Where's that bloke from? Holland or Germany or
Das ist wunderbar.
Belgium?
Welcome to the best side area.
Welcome, Victoria. Oh, here comes the music. When we start doing accents, it's bad.
Welcome to Somehow Related. Now, please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Anyway, welcome to the show. Glenn's been away.
We had a couple of weeks off.
Yeah. We're actually doing this one over Zoom. The quality should be fine with sound, but we're talking to each other over FaceTime. Now, should we just get our topics then? Let's get right into it, because people have been...
Yeah, let's get right into it. Yeah.
Here we go. What are the topics, Sam?
Isaac Newton and cat flaps.
Wow. Had a few weeks off to get a real doozy. Cat flaps. Well, we talk about getting a cat flap, and we've got 2 cats, but we've never had. Have you had a cat flap ever?
We used to leave the window open slightly and with a bolt in it, and we forgot to put the bolt in one day, and someone was able to break in because they could lift the window up. So we haven't had one since. But yeah, with a cat flap and a dog flap, they're best if they go straight through the glass, aren't they?
Yes. Friends of mine had a cat flap and they come home and there were other cats in the house just sitting around.
Yeah.
It's not for you. It's not for you, mate. And then burglars sending their kids, like in very extreme cases.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I did a gig the other night and there were cops there and there was a little cop and I said to him, "What do you do, mate? Do you go through the cat flap first to open up the house?" Or...
That's funny.
Well, I've got to say that's the second time I've used that joke, because I did the soggy guys, or they're kind of like the guys that do all the drug raids and that. And there was a little bloke with them, and I said, "You go through the cat flap, mate. You go in first, do you?"
Are you allowed to be shortest? Are you allowed to point that out? Because I mean,
when you're doing a gig for the police, I think anything's fine. They're not politically correct.
Is there a height rule? I don't think there is,
mate. As I said the other night, I thought I was pulled over by Grant Denyer. There is no height requirement. I looked out the window. I couldn't see him. I looked out my window. He was down below the bloody door. The police are short. Because there's a guy who hangs around the local shop, Albert's shop, and he lives on the same street as the shop, and he's grown up with Albert, the guy who runs the shop. And I used to see him around all the time. He was a bricklayer, and he's short. He played a leprechaun in the school musical. He's that kind of... You know what I mean? He's like the short kid at school.
Yeah,
like.
And nothing against that. And you're not making fun of that. No.
In the school photo, what was his job? In the school photo, he would always hold the sign. Hold the sign.
Right.
Yeah, he'd sit down cross-legged holding the sign sometimes. Yeah. He wanted to join the cops for years, and then they changed no high requirement. He's a copper now. So he's an actual policeman, and he loves it. So it's good. It's good they.
And he goes, "You're under arrest," and the criminal goes, "Yeah, right. What are you going to do?" "I'm going to come around the back and I'm going to reach up and grab your hands, put them behind your back." "Oh, you look, your feet aren't even touching the ground as you do that." Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, he's pretty tough though, actually, this guy. So you could.
I know. Don't worry about that.
Little guys can be tough. Oh, Schwarzenegger's little, isn't he? Short.
Yeah, all the big movie stars have got big heads and they're short.
Cat flaps. Look,
they're quite clever because they can make them that they go out and they don't let them back in, or they let them in and they can't go back out, or they can have a collar on.
Yes.
So it'll only work on. So they're quite sophisticated.
Yes. But also you got to wonder. We got 2 new cats. Maybe they're both sort of just coming out of kit. They both be a year old now, and we don't let them outside because with our other cat used to go outside. We used to get into fights and stuff.
Down the coast, they're actually putting laws in now that the cat cannot leave the area of the house. It can walk in your backyard, but it cannot go over the fence. And if it's caught, then the cat's done. I mean, it's like, yeah.
Well, in Byron Bay, in parts of Byron Bay, they have suburbs where you can't have cats or dogs. And our friend Akmal bought a house there, and he had 2 dogs. And his wife's like, "But what are you going to do with the dogs?" He's like, "Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll just keep them inside. No one will know." And so about the 3rd day they'd moved in, there's a knock on the door. A council guy, "Excuse me, have you got dogs there in your house?"
No. It does seem like overly invasive of your life, really, isn't it, that you can't have a dog even inside your house?
Well, he had to move. He had to sell the house because it was just, when you bought the house, you knew that. You couldn't have dogs. No one will know. Yeah, right. No, so we don't let our cats outside. They're inside cats, which is annoying. I think
it's always a good thing. Our cat our Torty, the late, great Torty.
I met Torty.
Used to get outside and go up the street and beat up a couple of cats and then bring the collar back. And she was like only a tortoiseshell Burmese, very small but tough as.
She'd bring back the collar of other cats?
Yeah, she'd beat up cats, pull the collars off them, and bring it home. Yeah, here's what I got. Well, that's... And then other times, they bring home birds. And they bring home mice
dead birds. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, so I think it's a good thing. I mean, unfortunately, it is their instinct. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Even if they're well fed, they'll still kill for the fun of killing, and they'll kill for the show off factor with you. Look what I found, Daddy. I brought it home for you. It's a dead mouse or a dead rat or something.
Well, our cats are like teenagers now. They just have screen time all day, where they just look out the window at the birds, and then outside our side door here, there's a glass door. There's a lizard that lives under our house, and he comes out to sunbake himself and chases flies or whatever he does. And honestly, that is like entertainment that's like Succession or some TV show for our cats. They sit there for 3 hours staring at this lizard, just imagining what they're going to do.
Torty, there was a period where she would go and beat up possums. And then she got beat up by a possum. Yeah, she took a possum on. She came home, we rolled, and she had claw marks all through her stomach. And we're going, God, you're a tough cat. But then as she got older, and she lived till she was 19, when she was about 15, she just used to, she would look out the window and we go, look at the bird, go out and catch the bird. And she'd go, you know what? It's like when dogs stop chasing cars. There comes a time when they go, you know what?
Yeah.
Those days are gone for me. I don't chase anything now. I got my food. I got my kitty litter. I got my bit in the sun. I'm done. I'm finished.
Yeah.
I'm washed up. So
it's all over. I don't know.
Well, cat flap is otherwise a very good idea because you don't have to open the door. The cat wants to go in, the cat wants to go out. Do your cats ever ask meow at the door to go out or meow to come in?
The indoor cats at the moment, they meow to leave certain parts of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of them puts their 2 paws up against the door to try and push it open, which is cute.
Yeah. And it is good if they're at the back door, and especially if you haven't got a kitty litter tray, and they meow, they go outside, they do their business outside, and then, come back inside, meow at the door and come back inside. Except at my very first house, we used to have a little mini golf course out the back. And I had like golf holes all across the lawn to play mini golf.
Yeah.
And the cat shat in every one of them.
Hole in one.
Yeah. because it didn't have to dig a hole, and every time you put the ball in the hole, you reach it out.
There's nothing like cat poo.
Are they weatherproof, your cat flaps? Do they blow
I think they are.
wind?
I think they are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I know that there have been incidences where I think dogs and sometimes cats have got a fright, have gone to run inside, and the problem is sometimes it's locked and they'll just do it. They'll just go full pelt into the door and it won't open, so they bounce back. Yeah. It's a learning exercise to, that they have to sort of check that it's okay, and then but don't never run at it full pelt.
I'm thinking now of a story that Hughes used to do in his stand-up, that when he locked himself out of the house, he went and picked up his daughter from kinder and sent her through the cat flap to go and get the keys out of the door. And it worked beautifully. There we go.
What you were saying earlier. Well, if you had a big dog, then you would have to have a big hole. And a big hole, any big hole, a person's going to get through that quite easily. So it really only works for your smaller, average-sized dog, because a big dog is as big as a person.
Yeah, like a Labrador, yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about Isaac Newton? Isaac Newton. What do we know about him? He invented gravity, didn't he? That was his...
He invented gravity.
The theory.
It didn't exist. Yeah, he didn't exist until he invented it. So how did he invent gravity? Didn't he go, hey, it was an apple? Was he the guy the apple fell on his head?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I know about Isaac Newton, is that he sat under a tree and an apple fell on his head, and that's where he got the theory of gravity.
I still don't understand gravity. Just because a big ball in the sky is spinning round, why does it mean we stick to it? Do you understand gravity?
No. But isn't it what comes up must come down? What goes up must come down? That's gravity, isn't it? That's gravity, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. Look, I was never a science kid.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is don't dismiss flat Earth, because flat Earth makes sense in terms of gravity.
You've been on Facebook? Oh, man, there's flat earthers on there. It's hilarious.
Are there still flat earthers out there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, and they've got all these points. Why is, oh, God. Why, if the moon moves the tides, why doesn't the moon move lakes and stuff like this, and, like other bodies of water? And they got all these facts, and some of them you go, oh, yeah, I don't know. Why is that? But, I'm sure if you Googled it, it'd be fine. But all I know about him is he was around, what, is it the 15th or 16th century kind of stuff?
I think it's about 16th, yeah. He left school at, he left school at 12 or something, which, if you're at school now and you're listening to this podcast, think about leaving school at 12. Look at Isaac Newton. He did really well. So don't dismiss leaving school early. That's what I say to the kids.
Didn't he become an academic at universities and stuff? Wasn't he like a professor or something like that? I do know one fact about him. He was in charge of the mint. So I don't know. We've done we've done someone else before. Was it Benjamin Franklin or something like that? But he was. There must have been a job they gave to intellectuals. He was just like in charge of the mint. Do you reckon he put himself on a coin?
What nationality is he?
He's British.
American?
He's British, isn't he?
British, is he?
I think he's British, isn't he?
Have I told the story about when I went to the mint in the US? I've told that story, haven't I?
Yeah, many times, where you said they were giving out free money.
We ran ahead of the tour group, pulled some money out of our wallet, then ran back against the tour group and said, go up there, around the corner. They're just giving money away. It was very funny. And everyone started stampeding for the money. It was so funny. Anyway, I told that story before. Sorry about that.
Every time I used to drive past the mint with the kids, I used to say, that joint, that's a license to print money, that joint. Which it actually is.
Was he not something to do with the laws of action versus
versus pushing stuff?
Yes. Are those when you go to remember back in the 80s, there people would have on their desk some ball bearings on string.
Yeah.
Is that Isaac Newton? Meaning,
possibly,
and if you did 2 balls, then 2 balls would go.
Yes.
If you did 3 balls, it would go 3, 2, 3. And if it was 1, it would go to 1. And it was kind of the law of action and reaction, or laws of motion or something.
Yeah. You're like a teacher. And, he would go along to, he probably invented the gravitron. Remember the gravitron at Luna Park? Where you'd go up against the wall and it would spin around, and then
Was it called a gravitron or was it called the rotor?
one or the other, yeah.
Oh, that was the number one most scary ride you could go on. Now, for this would only, because they wouldn't allow it now, this would have been back in the
80s.
70s,
80s, yeah.
At Luna Park in Melbourne, there was, I think it was called the rotor, and it was Peter Rosethorn used to do a very funny routine about being on the rotor. And basically it was a rubber wall that basically would spin. Or was it a cylinder?
Yeah.
And you would stand around the wall and it would spin faster and faster and faster.
And then the floor would drop.
The floor would drop away.
Yeah. And you were stuck to the wall. You were stuck to the wall.
You were stuck to the wall because of what is the word?
Gravitational pull?
Oh, I thought it was centrifugal force.
Oh, I think you're right. No, sorry, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
So you would stuck up the wall and then it would slow down. Would the floor come back up or would you slide down the wall?
I can't remember. Peter Rosson did the routine about you'd vomit and the vomit would go out into the space for a minute and then come back at you. Like.
Yeah. But anyway, incredibly scary ride that will never see the light of day again.
Pretty sure he had something to do with that. I'm pretty sure
he probably invented that. He
probably.
probably invented it. He would have had one of the highest IQs in the world, wouldn't he? Have you ever had your IQ? Have you had your IQ done?
No. Have you?
No. What's high?
Over 120, 130, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think Isaac Newton was 180 or 190 or something.
Yeah, sure. If we did ours, we get the phone call from Mensa straight away. You know, like, and that's the society for the high IQ people, isn't it? The Mensa.
I haven't. We put you through a university course. I reckon my IQ would be very low.
No,
it would be.
What, you reckon I'd have a higher IQ than you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but have you done IQ tests are often kind of those pattern tests and stuff. And I get a bit confused. Like, so you've got 3 diamonds, a circle, and a triangle. What comes next? And you're like, I don't know. Is this? This is a test for a certain type of thinking, I believe. IQ tests.
Oh, okay, because I believe I'm more of a right brain. I believe I'm more artistic, so I can see things that other people can't see in art. But
yes.
I don't think but I can't see things when I talk to my accountant.
No.
I can't see it. No.
But I'm similar to you, but we both probably have a high level of emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Where you can, I mean, where you walk into a situation, you assess it, you assess what that person, blah, blah, blah. That's a different type of skill, I reckon.
I always maintain I'm very good at reading the room. I'm good at reading people.
Yes.
But I'm not really good at reading puzzles in year 12 or I was never good at maths or trigonometry or, some people it's just how their brain works.
You're not that good at reading the room. I mean, we went to a high-level meeting. You turned up in a dressing gown and underpants. That wasn't great. Really.
It was just to show them off their game a little bit. Just sort of show them.
He's artistic.
I'm a bit wacky, But it's people like us that keep it interesting. It's the ones who are a bit weird that keep the world interesting.
Exactly.
Just because you can do can you still do long division?
No. One of the kids was doing it. Because we had a pandemic when one of my kids was doing year 12, I had to tutor him in maths. But I never did maths at school much, up until year 10 or whatever. If I read from the start of the chapter, I could do it, but I just couldn't come in cold. It's too hard. You got to read right from the start and pick up.
Oh, you got to build the foundation.
But
properly.
it's just patterns and formulas. If you get it into your head, you can do it.
Yeah, but can you make an IKEA thing from the following instructions? No.
No, I can, but not very well. So
no,
it's
always a bit wobbly.
We paid that guy that came over to set up a bookcase, and he was leaning on the floor, and he said, "Yeah, you've been in some movies, Dave." Well, I've been in a couple of movies myself, Dave. Here we go. I've been in a couple of movies. Oh, he was in Wild Boy. He was in Wild Boy.
If you want to have an argument with your partner, buy some IKEA.
Oh.
And, why are you doing it like that?
It's the worst.
Do you want to do it? No, you do it.
It's the worst.
It is, isn't it?
That's why they are the guys that come out and do it for you. I mean, not everyone can afford that, but it is a good service.
Well, if you do, money well spent.
Well, when you buy a bicycle for your kids, the guy's like, "Oh, that's $150. Another 20, and we'll put it together for you." You know what?
Well, I saw there's the thing up the road, near down the beach. They've got the repair shop where you take things that are broken, And for $1, they'll
volunteers, yes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so
that is great.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you probably, I don't know how much money, you don't pay a lot, but here I've got this old,
toaster.
I've got this old unexploded hand grenade. Do you reckon we can make it work again? We found it in the backyard. What do you think? Yeah. So Isaac Newton, gravity, reaction, moon around the earth, moon pulling, gravity pulling.
Smart guy.
I still don't understand, even though he's worked it out, I still don't understand just because, does that mean the bigger the ball, the bigger the gravity?
No idea. Probably. I don't know.
Well, it does because the moon is less gravity because you can jump up and down. You can do those big...
Oh, yeah. True.
Like walking on the moon. Whereas on Earth, it's around about right. Isn't it weird how we've evolved like that just to be enough to stick us on there without being able to jump up? Because I imagine on some planets, you could jump up and just float away.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hopefully we'll go there one day. Not me and you, but maybe great-great-grandchildren.
Yeah, because I did skydiving in a room. It was a bit like that. We had a big jet.
Yeah.
They've got one in Melbourne here.
Near the airport.
But that's not really gravity. That's air.
It's just air.
Up your clacker. All right.
I had an enema once. Is that gravity? That's some kind of gravity. Oh.
I've never had an enema.
Oh, yeah, not good.
You had one purely for...
Fun. It's just fun.
Fun.
No.
I
was having a colonoscopy, and I couldn't drink the Fleet stuff they give you to clean your system out. And the woman said, "Don't worry, we'll give you something when you turn up tomorrow for your colonoscopy." I'm like, I got there and I go, "Okay, I'm here. What pill are you going to give me?" And she goes, "No, it's not a pill. It's an enema." So, yeah.
Oh. And how far the hose go in?
I don't know, but you have to grip the wall. The woman goes, "Grip the wall on your side there, and we'll put this."
Grip the wall.
She said,
"Do they have handles to grip onto?"
But it was bricks, and you could see where other people had gripped the wall, like a prison or somewhere. You grip the wall, and then they shoot.
Does it hurt, or it just felt weird?
Just uncomfortable. They shoot hot water up your bottom, and then it doesn't work immediately. And so I'm like, "I feel fine." She goes, "Yeah, just go and sit outside the toilet," and then you sit there and you're like, "Oh my God," and then it has an effect. Yeah.
I could drink the stuff, and I drank it like at 10 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was, and nothing was happening. So I rang up the clinic and I said, "I'm going to be honest with you, nothing's happened." She goes, "Don't worry, it will."
Yeah.
And I went, "Are you sure?" She goes, "Trust me." And oh my God, was she right?
Yeah, it works.
Once the gates opened, it was, you're not going down the shops to buy bread and milk.
No.
You're not.
Anyway, let's have some thinking music. What can we have? Cat ads, Whiskers ads,
cat food. I guess there must be a good cat food ad.
Yeah.
A Whiskers ad.
Sketches
about Isaac Newton.
Well, we could do something about the apple falling out of the tree, because surely
as we have done before, should we recreate the moment?
Yes, because maybe other things fell. I don't know. Did he experiment or?
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, maybe it wasn't as simple as going under a tree.
Because you can go to that actual tree. It's in England. You can go to the very tree. Yeah, it's part of an estate. You can go to the very tree. How's that? That'd be fun. Sit under it.
I mean, they could pay someone to go up there with an apple.
Yes. We're closing now. Excuse me, we're closing. Well, I'm waiting for the apple to fall on my head.
How about we do a version of Isaac Newton doing the apple, but this was the first day he went out, not the first day didn't quite work out.
All
right.
Okay,
and maybe
do you want to be Isaac Newton or do you want to be I'll be his gardener. You be Isaac Newton.
Okay. All right. I will be Isaac Newton, and we'll need the tinkle tinkle, and it's the day before. This is the day before he discovers gravity.
All right, here we go.
Darling, is that the right voice? It's a bit
he'd be a bit posh, wouldn't he? He'd be a bit posh, yeah.
Darling, I think I'm going to have a revelation. I can feel one coming on. So rather than sit around the house, I'll pop out the back under a tree and I'll think of it, and then I'll come back inside. But I think Tony, the gardener's out there. I certainly hope he's not going to interrupt my revelation. Anyway, I'll be back in a moment. There we go, out the backyard. Oh, there's a lovely tree over there. I might just lay down. Oh, the grass is so soft. The sun is sprinkling through. Wait, who's that up in the... Tony? Is that Is that you up the tree? What are you doing?
Hello, Gov. You asked me to trim the apple tree, mate. That's what I'm doing up here. I'm trimming the apple tree. It won't bother you at all. Won't be long, mate. Won't be long.
All right. Well, I'm going to lay here, and as you know, I have incredible thoughts. I write them down, and I believe I'm going to have one today that could change the world. Anyway, so I'll just close my eyes. And what are you going to do? What do you do? You're trimming.
I'm just having me lunch. It got me a nice little lunch here. Got a bit of a ploughman's lunch, actually. Just have me a little lunch, all right?
All right.
Ooh.
Well, let me know. What was? That's a bit of tomato. What? That's fallen on my forehead.
Sorry, Gov. Sorry, Gov. I'll try and eat my lunch better. I'll just hang on.
Oh, what? That's a bit of beetroot. A bit of sliced beetroot landed on my cheek.
Oh, sorry, Gov. Sorry.
Can you stop? Can you not? Can you let
Sorry,
me
Gov.
have my revel? I'm about to be brilliant.
I'll just have me thermos of tea. Hang on, I've got my. Oh!
Ow! And there's a biscuit. The biscuit went into my mouth. There's a tea and the biscuit in my mouth.
I like to say.
Tony.
All right, hang on a minute. Hang on. Oh, that feels better. Oh.
Tony, what are you? Oh my! What are you doing?
Well, sorry, Gov. I drank too much tea. I had to.
Are you relieving yourself? Well,
sorry, Gov.
Tony, as I said, I am a brilliant man. I've had tomato, I've had beetroot, I've had tea, I've had a biscuit, and now you're urinating on me. Do you think this is helping me change the world? I don't think so. Come down now.
Well, hang on, I've got one more thing. I've got me apple. I'm going to eat me. Oh God, I dropped it.
That landed right on my. I think I've had an idea.
Oh, I'll come
Tony,
down. Yeah.
Tony, come down. I want to discuss what I think.
Oh, sorry. Oh!
Tony, you landed right on top of me. Oh, Tony, I can't believe it. Tony, what's your surname?
Gravity. Tony Gravity.
Tony. I think, look, as a gesture to you, landing on top of me, falling from the tree, the apple fell, all your lunch fell on top of me, but you, Tony Gravity, landed on top of me. I shall call, when things fall to the ground, gravity. Tony Gravity. That's what I call it.
10% for me, Gov. 10%, please. Wow, there we go. That's incredible.
Jesus, Tony Gravity.
Tony Gravity. Who
sounds like a nightclub singer.
Unsung hero.
Yeah.
Tony Gravity.
I reckon I've got this.
Go for it. What is it?
I reckon Isaac Newton had a cat flap, and I reckon his cat ran out. And it went blomp, and the door swung back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Then eventually stopped. And he worked out, he went, action equals reaction. So when he saw the door flapping back into position, he realized that the action had like the balls on the end of the string, it has a reaction. So that's when he invented, I don't know, whatever that theory
thing's called. I reckon it's simpler than I reckon he invented cat flaps because he was in the world of movement and stuff and the cats were bothering him or something. I don't know. Often these eccentrics have cats.
Dave has it Isaac Newton was one of the early inventors of the cat flap. The scientist is most famous for calculated gravity, but it's also believed that Isaac Newton invented the cat door. When Newton was working on his experiments at the University of Cambridge, he was constantly interrupted by his cat scratching at the door.
It is a very good idea. It's a very good idea.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
So you reckon that was in? So that would have been like the 1600s.
Yeah, he invented. That's amazing. He invented cat flaps. Wow.
I've got to admit, I don't remember seeing cat flaps around when I was really young. I reckon I've only seen them in the, or maybe I have. I don't know, but interesting.
Yeah. Well, Benjamin Franklin invented kitty litter. Did you know that?
No.
Anyway, let's go out with a song from Tony Gravity. Hello. Isaac Newton gave me no money for me invention. I invented gravity. Thank you. I'm here all night. here all night.
Yeah, that was good. Nice to be back. I'm a COVID member. I'm a
Birkenstock wearer.
Birkenstock wearer, and now I'm a member. I feel validated.
Yes, thanks for listening, everyone.